Hey, I'm Chef Aaron Fish, and this is Fish Food, where we make tasty, approachable snacks. And today, we're making egg rolls, but not just any kind of egg roll. We're making Rosemary Dijon Potato egg rolls with harissa red wine sweet and sour sauce. All right, so step one, we need to get these potatoes cooked in our made-in pot. All right, so I pre-cut these and already got them in some water. We're gonna add a little more water to it. Basically, we're just gonna make mashed potatoes, so cut them however you want. We just wanna cook them in some water. Got them on high heat to bring them up to a simmer. And add some salt. Remember, the chef I used to work for, he said that don't taste like the ocean, it ain't right. Well, that's not necessarily right, but we do wanna put some salt in the water. All right, let's make our red wine sweet and sour. So, got some delicious red wine here, brand unknown. We got some soy sauce, red wine vinegar, and some sugar. Kind of a lot of sugar. We want it nice and sweet, where it's not sweet and sour sauce. And then of course, we can't forget our harissa blend. I'm gonna put some of that in there. We're gonna throw this onto the stove. Okay, I got some cornstarch in here. We're gonna add a little bit of water. We're just looking for about equal parts. Now, when I make slurries for thickening things, which we're about to thicken the sweet and sour, I just kind of put a little bit in at a time until it reaches the consistency that I'm looking for. So, the fun thing about cornstarch is it doesn't splatter. It's not getting all over the camera, you see that? Isn't that kind of fun? You can mess with people in your kitchen. You kind of go up to them and, oh, no cornstarch on you. All right, so we got our stuff simmering over here. Why don't you come on over? Yeah, come closer. All right, so we got simmering. We're just gonna add some cornstarch to it. Put like, I don't know, a third of it in there. Give it a stir. Not quite as thick as I want it. I'm gonna turn it back up to high. And you'll see it start to, you can even see it looks thicker now than it was a minute ago. The bubbles almost look bigger. So put a little bit more. And you gotta remember too, when you cool this down to room temperature, it's gonna thicken up even more. So I think that's probably about where we wanna see it. All right, so our sweet and sour sauce is done. Our potatoes are cooked all the way through, and you'll know they'll be done because they smash into pieces like that. Be careful doing that, it's hot. But they're fully cooked. So strain them real good, got all the liquid out of them. I'm gonna mash these up a little bit, and we're gonna add just a little bit of butter, some shredded cheese, some chopped garlic, some Niman Ranch bacon that I rendered out. And I also have an egg, but I'm gonna wait to add the egg because it's a little hot and I don't want the egg to cook. Really, the egg is gonna help keep the potatoes like nice and solid when we put them in the egg roll filling. So, and we will also add the seasoning here in a second after I kind of smash it up. If you have another whisk, that's also a nice way to kind of smash this, but I kind of want it a little bit chunky. I like the texture. All right, I've got this kind of rough mashed up, and we're gonna go ahead and add our Rosemary Dijon. So just get a nice heavy sprinkle in there. And we're gonna give it a stir. We're gonna taste it for salt content. We season the water pretty good, so we're gonna taste this before we add our egg. All right, now let's add that egg. Just crack it in there. Don't leave the shell in there. Don't be silly. And we're gonna give it a nice little stir. The idea is to incorporate it. So this will help hold everything together in the egg roll. All right, so our filling's all done. I've got my egg roll wrappers here. You can get these at the grocery store or Asian markets, and you just make sure you get one that's big enough so we can make nice big egg rolls, right? So I have a bowl of water here, a little brush, and I like to do this. Some people do this after they put the filling in. I like to do it before because it's a little cleaner. If you don't have a brush, you can use your finger. You can just okay, and then we're gonna put some filling in there. And you wanna be careful, you don't want too much, but you don't want too little. Now, this is the technique. So, we are gonna fold these two corners over, and you're gonna press down right here. like this. You want these nice and sealed. This is gonna help the filling from coming out. Okay, I'm gonna roll it over, tuck it like a burrito, roll it nice and tight. Okay, that's how you make a nice egg roll. Now I'm gonna roll it in some cornstarch. And the reason I do this is twofold. I think it helps make it a little more crispy when we go to fry it, but also, if you're gonna freeze them and save them for later, roll them in cornstarch, leave them on the sheet pan, throw them in your freezer, put them in a plastic bag after they're frozen, and then when you go to thaw them, this will help them from sticking together. Okay. All right, so our egg rolls are all rolled. Let's drop them in the fryer. So I've got some oil back here going at 350 degrees. I got my thermometer in here so I know how hot it's going. And then we're just gonna drop them in a couple at a time. We don't really wanna overcrowd the pan. So just real carefully. We'll let those cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. And if we need to, we'll flip them over and then pull them out and we'll eat them. All right, pull them out. And if you have a nice place to rest them, I've got a drip tray on top of a sheet pan with some parchment paper. This is great. It's gonna keep them from, making a mess, and it helps the oil kind of drip off of them and crisp up a little bit. All right, we got all our components ready to go. So we're gonna plate this up, make it look pretty, and we're gonna eat it. So we've got our red wine, sweet and sour sauce. Now, if you want to put this in a ramekin or something on the side so you can dip, that's cool. We're just gonna do just some drizzle, just make it look pretty. I've got some pickled horseradish here, so it's just fresh horseradish root pickled in some apple cider vinegar. A nice little nest of it. We want to cut this egg roll so we can see the deliciousness on the inside. Oh yeah, beautiful potato action. Oh, how can we do this? There we go. And then this right here is some fresh herbs. We got some thyme, some cilantro, some lemon zest, and some lime zest. This is really gonna help this thing pop. So we're just gonna put a little bit over the top, make it look pretty, and then just kind of around, make it look messy but delicious. Something beautiful in the chaos, Yeah. Now, if you got tweezers and you wanna do this with tweezers, you can totally do that. There we go. All right, so what's great about this dish is you can literally put anything in an egg roll and eat it. If you wanted to take the bacon out, which I don't know why you'd want to do that unless you're a monster or a vegetarian, you could do that and it'd be just as delicious. The sweet and sour sauce is a fun spin on it. It's got kind of the elements of, you get your rosemary, your potatoes, your bacon, your red wine, some horseradish. It's almost, dare I say, holiday-ish, but not, because, it's not the holidays. Let's eat this. So you get some of that sauce. It's like perfect consistency too. Look at that. Some of this pickled horseradish on here. Oh man. I love this stuff. I can eat it just plain. You've got, the acid, not only from the horseradish, but, sweet and sour sauce. You got a little bit of heat from the harissa and the sweet and sour. A savory with the potatoes and like crisp from the wrapper. We've got that Rosemary Dijon. All of it just is this crazy, crazy, crazy delicious fish food.